Hello everybody, I'm Fabian and welcome back to Fab Motorbikes. This week I'll be talking to you about the phone, mount and charger I use on my motorcycle, the pros and cons of it, and where you can get one if you want one. But first up, please, an early thumbs up really helps out the channel, and if you've not done so already, please subscribe. Thanks very much. Let's get into it. This is the BlueFire motorcycle phone mount with USB charging point. Link down in the description if you want to get one now. It's available on Amazon. So let's get into it and let's talk about a few of the pros of this item. So number one, these are so easy to install on your bike. Firstly, install the handlebar U-joint. Add the handlebar ball joint here. Put on each nut. And then tighten up with a 10mm socket joint. Done. You can then install the socket arm and the phone cradle. Tighten this up and then adjust as necessary. Now when it comes to connecting the wires to the battery, you may need to open it up slightly in order for it to reach the two terminals of the battery. I'm simply taking a little knife and just slicing down the middle in order to widen those connecting points. Once the initial slices have been made, you can simply just pull the two wires apart. And then when connecting the cradle to the bike electronically, you screw the red wire to the red positive terminal and the black wire to the negative terminal of the battery. When the device is installed properly on an electronic front, you'll be able to turn on the charging and a little blue light will come on. So a second pro of this thing is that it's so practical. It's fully articulated, you can put it almost any position that you want. It's also very useful having the USB charger on the device, not having to mismatch various different electrical items. It's also quite useful the fact that you can charge up your phone a little bit without the bike running. However, I will say that poses a risk. And that risk is, if you leave this charger on by accident, you have effectively created a parasitic drain on your battery. And if you leave that on for a longer and longer periods of time, your battery will go no-no. And that has happened to me. So really bear that in mind when buying this device. But what you can do to mitigate that risk is buy a 12-volt relay. Basically what they do is ensure that when your bike is off, none of your electrical devices are taking any feed from the battery whatsoever. Problem solved. Now a third pro, basically these are cheap and they're pretty good. Compared to a RAM mount, for example, this is a third of the price, and I think compared to a quad lock, which I'm sure you've seen are heavily advertised online, these are a third of the price on Amazon. So link down in the description if you want to get one. And currently on Amazon they have a deal where I think these are 16 or 17 pounds to buy, but if you spend £3 more, you then get a 3 or 4 year warranty. So if they do break, and given that they are cheaper, they probably will, you'll just get another one for free, which is what happened to me. So this broke and I'm just putting in the new one that I got for free. And just to give you an idea of how it looks when the phone is mounted in the holder. So the phone goes in there, clips in the X clamp there, takes any size phone, big or small, and then have a 30cm charging wire, which then I'll curl round to take up all the slack, and that just pops in there. One thing I will note is that once the phone is mounted in there, there is like this wobble, which I'm pretty sure the more premium models don't do. It's not been a huge problem, but it's something to consider. Having said all that, let's move on to the cons of this thing. Okay, so basically, as I said, these are cheaper, so they will not last as long as the RAM and the quad locks. And also, they don't seem to have any obvious fusing mechanism in there. So any surge of power through some electrical problems may break it. So there are risks there to think about. I've also not had any huge problems with them, but I do believe that they are not quite as weatherproof as the more premium phone holder are. There's big gaps here. Of course, there's this rubber stopper here, stopping water going in, but I still don't believe that the build quality is there to keep all the weather out. So wrapping up, the BlueFire phone mount and charger is an excellent practical piece of kit that offers really great value for money compared to its competitors, especially considering for £2 or £3 more, you can get a 3 or 4 year warranty that allows you just to get another one when it breaks. It's really great having the USB port built in. You don't have to cross match any electrical devices, and as long as you are ready to manage the risk of you accidentally leaving it on or losing the ability to turn it off, and then potentially causing a parasitic drain on your battery. As long as you're ready to manage that, this is the one to go for, I believe. Yes, it won't last as long as the RAM mount or the quad lock, but it's a great value for money, and link in description if you want to get one. I got my replacement just now, and I'm ready to go. Thank you ever so much for watching. Please subscribe if you've not done so already, and give this video a good thumbs up. See you next time.